Hi, I'm Julie Edwards, and I'm with Grow, and I'm here with Grow's latest author, Jeff Stinson. Jeff, welcome.
Good morning, Julie. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Why don't you talk to us about your new book?
Well, I just wrote a book called A Practical Guide to Human Resources Management, and pretty excited about it because I think it's now a resource for managers and supervisors who are not quite sure how to do some things in HR. So this is going to give them some tools.
Great. Jeff, I wanted to know what makes you an expert on HR. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Oh, my goodness. That goes way back, about 32 years. Human resources experience. I've worked in international manufacturing. I've worked now with Grow for 8 years.
Okay.
I have a number of customers, everything from nonprofits to aerospace. And I've been doing HR work now for a very long time.
It looks like you have a lot of designations.
I do, you're right. Senior professional in HR, global professional in HR, CCP, GRP, CVP. It's kind of a hobby.
It's a lot of schoolwork.
Yes.
All right. Well, in light of today's world and how litigious the world is there anything that your book can share with us that's going to keep us out of the courtroom?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
No matter how good a job you do as a manager, there's still that chance you're going to end up in the courtroom.
Right.
But if you follow some of the advice I give in the book, it'll lessen those chances. For example, it's all about communication, and you want to communicate so that when it comes time that you may have to at some point separate an employee.
Okay.
At least they're not surprised, and you've given them an opportunity to change their behavior or improve their performance. So at that point, if you do have to separate them, at least they know why and they've been given an opportunity.
So separate's the new gentle word for
fired?
You're no longer with us.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm afraid so.
Why did you decide to write this book?
Two reasons. First of all, it's been a dream of mine for a very long time.
Okay.
I teach part-time for the University of Phoenix.
Oh.
And I read a lot of textbooks. And textbooks are cool, but most people that are trying to do human resources work aren't going to go to a textbook to find out, for example, how to hire somebody.
Right.
So my thought was, let's write something that is easy to understand, easy for a practitioner to use, and that's why I wrote this.
Awesome. That's great. Can you tell us a little bit about the book and what you'll be doing on YouTube, why we're doing this right now?
Well, yeah, I think what we should do on YouTube is go through the book chapter by chapter, different YouTube videos. And we're going to do a number of things. I'm going to have to wear my glasses because
That's fine.
But for example, when we do chapter 1, we're going to talk about how you hire the right person.
Okay.
Because it kind of starts with that. So the book is kind of sequential to the employment process. So it starts with how you get hired.
Okay.
Chapter 2 talks about how you bring somebody on board and give them the right new hire experience. Chapter 3 is how you measure their performance. Chapter 4 is how you pay them. Number of ways to do that, right?
Yes.
Chapter 5 looks at benefits, and particularly now that we're in the Obamacare world, it's a very different world than what most of us are used to. Chapter 6 talks about safety, because obviously we don't want anybody to get hurt.
Right.
Chapter 7 deals with employee relations issues, and these are the things that cause managers and supervisors a lot of headaches, and these are usually the things that get you into court. So.
Oh, okay.
Chapter 8 speaks to Chapter 7, and that's how to stay out of court. So once you have employee relations problems, it's what you do with them that really decides your fate, if you will. Chapter 9 is training, how we train people. Chapter 10 is how we discipline, because unfortunately not everybody we hire is going to be perfect.
Right.
Chapter 11 deals with unions, and while unions where we are here in Southern California are not necessarily a big deal, many parts of the country it's an issue.
Right.
Chapter 12 deals with working internationally, and sometimes if you want to expand your business internationally, you need to know there's some subtleties from country to country, so you need to be aware of those. And chapter 13, I look a little bit at what I think the future is going to hold for human resources.
The trends.
The trends, right? And then lastly, chapter 14 is just some funny stories of things I've encountered over the last 32 years.
32 years, that's a long time.
And share that with the viewer.
Well, we look forward to these. These are going to be fun. Who do you think would benefit most from this? HR managers or just managers in general?
I think anybody that needs to supervise, manage, or lead people
Right.
could use a book like this, because again, it's practical. It's It's not this kind of esoteric world.
Right,
It's
not
how do you do
too
it.
industry related,
It's
just
not
to
industry
HR.
related at all. It's strictly HR.
Well, one thing I think along with that, a lot of times we know people and we've had them as our managers are hired or promoted from within and don't really have the tools to be a good manager as far as communication, as you said, and people management. So maybe that would be a great tool for every company to hand out to their new managers. That'd be cool. How can the audience get a copy of this book? Do you have any ideas?
Absolutely. If you go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, either one of those, it's online in both the hard copy, soft copy, and also at least on Amazon there's a Kindle version as well.
So if you go into Amazon, all you have to put in there is A Practical Guide to Human Resources Management, Jeff Stinson, and you can find it. That's JEFFSTINSON. Thank you.